Hey everybody, welcome. It's a winter wonderland today in the Hunt household. LDRS Creative Studios, something like that. Oh, I gotta turn this sound down. I always forget to do that. You know, we do test on. We have a lot of. If you guys could see the way we have this set up in here, it's actually pretty cool. But I have multiple. We've got multiple monitors around in here, and we do testing and stuff beforehand. And I always forget to turn off the sound, so when I hear it playing back in my ear, it's kind of weird. But anyway, hello! It is a chilly, chilly day here in Michigan. And we're going to be working with a snow globe tonight. So I thought that it would be fun to have a beautiful snowy background as though we're in a snow globe. So I thought that'd be kind of cool. So hey, gosh, I hope everybody had a really, really great weekend. I hope you guys had some relaxation time and maybe even some crafting time. And speaking of crafting, I hope you guys have something to work with, to play with, to craft with while I'm crafting here. I've got some fun things to show you, but I want to give a little shout out. I see Linnea is here, so yay girl, Linnea. So many other names that I recognize. I love that I recognize so many names. We have Sandy Yee, Terry Godinez, I'm not sure if I'm saying your name right, hopefully, Jen Ray and Shelly and oh, so many people, Pamela Lozano. I see we have somebody from, it says Upstairs Hobby Room, and I think you're from Canada, so welcome from Canada. That's pretty cool. You know, hey, if you're from another country, please let us know. That's really fun, totally cool. Sheila Fisher, yes, we have a winter wonderland background. You were right, you guessed it. Luann, I think I saw that you just, was it you? I think you just got your free, your prize from last week. Sharon Gullickson, Judy Markowitz, so many people. It's always so sweet to see everybody. So thank you guys again for taking time out of your evening to spend with us. We have some fun things. I haven't made a shaker card in, I don't know how long, really. It's been a long time. So I thought that I would attempt one today. We're going to see how it's going to work out. I actually worked through this card I think maybe a little more than I normally do, just in terms of planning where everything's going to go, just because I wanted to make sure it was going to work. So, but anyway, I do want to walk you through what I did because I think it's going to be kind of cool. So I'm going to switch the camera now, and we're going to see what happens. All righty. Let me get my glasses on real quick so I can see. Let me show you, first of all, what we're going to be working with. The star of tonight's show is going to be the Snow Dear to Me stamps and dies. And of course, you can see this is my used set. I always show you guys the I don't know, the sets that are mine, the ones that I actually work with. So Snow Dear to Me, oh my gosh, I can't tell you how much I love this set. I think it is the most beautiful thing. The colors, by the way, coordinate beautifully with the Mackenzie paper pack when you look at the back of this. But we always show the colored images on the back to give you kind of an idea of how you can color them up. We have these gorgeous little reindeer in here. I absolutely love them. We have the snow globe, of course. And all of these sentiments will fit right here on the snow globe. Alan, you probably didn't bring up my fan, did you?
I'm your fan.
Yeah, you're my fan. This 50-plus female needs a fan. Anyway, here's the coordinating dies. And you'll notice in this die set that we have the outer die that's going to cut around that snow globe, but we have this inner die that's going to allow us to cut on the inside of the snow globe. So it makes it really, really easy to make a shaker card. Something else I want to point out is this is a mixed set. Oftentimes you'll see like a set that is, you know, it's just going to stamp your lines and you're going to color, or you're going to have solid stamping. And this is a mixed stamp set. So you're going to be able to stamp and color most of these images, but we've got these trees in here that are solid stamped to make it really easy for you to stamp the trees and not have to worry about coloring them, but they're absolutely stunning and I love working with them. So we also show you a little map on the back so you know which dies go with which stamp. One of my favorites from our entire collection, winter collection here, is this. It's called the Pine Tree Forest, and I love this. This is, I think, probably my single most favorite stamp. I love evergreens, and I love easy backgrounds. And this one is super easy, not only because it's a row of trees, not only because it has a beautiful evergreen forest, but because it's solid stamping. And so I can ink these up with one color or multiple colors and get an absolutely gorgeous instant background. So that to me is a staple item. Thank you, Alan. He got my fan for me. Then we're going to be using 34th Street, which I think I can't remember if I worked with this with you guys or not. I think I may have done this for the Stamp and Scrapbook Expo, but love this set. These houses are absolutely precious. They actually have, I don't know if you can tell, I think you can see it in here. These will actually stamp beautiful stamped texture on parts of the houses, which it's just gorgeous. They're so pretty. And of course, this little camper is the cutest thing. But the coordinating die set is actually an interactive coordinating die set. It will cut out in one pass through your machine. It's going to cut out the house, and then it's going to make it so that your doors and windows are going to open and close. So those are really, really cool. Lots of fun with these. I'm trying to think, there was something else I wanted to mention. Oh, and this is named after a miracle on 34th Street, actually, because it reminded me, for some reason, like the houses, the neighborhood, Christmas time, reminded me of that. Let's see. Oh, and then I grabbed this. I don't know how long. I think I've had this for years and years and years. This is, I needed to have some sort of an acetate or something, and I happen to have these sheets in my craft room for, I don't know, 10 plus years probably. Yeah, seriously, having this for that long tells you, just how many shaker cards I actually make. Alan's laughing at me. He's like, really? You've had it that long? Yes, 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 yes. Okay, let's see. What else we got going on here? Show you everything I got. All right, I have these little pouches. I won't tell you why I have these little pouches, but we're going to use them. I'm not sure which ones, but those are little sample items that I have from something. You may find out soon. And okay, so here we go. I have a card base. Notice it's not an A2, and I will explain that soon. And this is just a piece of cardstock. And then this is just some of my Neenah Classic Crest Solar White. I happened to have, let me get this off to the side here. I already had a couple of these images from something that I had did previously. So I already had this little house. I always save. I have this tiny little plastic container. It's just a little clear plastic, like something you'd toss your photos in. I think I got it at Michael's or something. And whenever I have images that I've colored up that I couldn't fit on a project, I always put them in there. And then I take a look through it and see if there's anything in there that I can use. So I already had these 3 pieces right here from a previous project that I did, and I didn't end up using them, so I saved them because why throw them away? They're perfectly good. So I grabbed these, and then I went ahead and I stamped another deer and I stamped another tree so that I would have them to work with on this project. I'll take you through all this stuff. But this is what I wanted to show you. I want to show you how I created this. It's really easy to do with this set. It's super, super fun. This actually goes behind it. See how that is? Isn't that pretty? So let me show you what I did. So we're going to get started first. This is Neenah Classic Crest Solar White cardstock, 110-pound cover. And I'm going to get my regular sized Misty out. I think it's, I don't have this super big Misty, but I do think it's very important to have the little travel one. I use that probably most of the time. That's my go-to. But there's times when I need to have the bigger one, and this is a time when I needed to have the bigger one. I think it just worked really, really well for me. So I'm going to go ahead and move some things out of the way. Sorry about my arms. I'm going to get this on the screen. Let's see. I've got my Raven Hybrid ink. I'm going to stamp the snow globe in this. So let's get that snow globe out. And one thing I want to show you about this. If you notice on here, we have stamps on the inside of that snow globe, which means that the snow globe, you want to make sure you pull these off here gently because you don't want to stretch your photopolymer. So that means that this, because I have sentiments on the inside there, additional stamps, that tells you that this is going to be hollow. So with this being open like this, what that means is that, you know, I mean, I could stretch this. I can move this around and have it so it's not shaped right. Okay, if I want it to be a little bit taller, if I want it to be a little bit flatter, fatter, or whatever. I don't encourage you to do this. I'm showing you that that can happen with a stamp that's hollow. And you don't want that to be the case because then your die is not going to fit it properly. So I tend to just kind of drop these in place like so. I don't want to move them around and stretch them. I just kind of lift them and drop them until I'm happy with where it is. There we go. Because I don't want it stretched. I want it to have its natural shape or its natural form. So I have that placed a little up toward the top because I'm not actually going to make an A2 card. I'm actually going to make a 4 1/4 square card. So I'm going to go ahead and get this inked up with my Raven. If you're not familiar with hybrid inks, a hybrid ink is a combination ink. It has the properties of a dye and a pigment ink. It's going to allow you to use it with multiple mediums. That stamped really, really, really well. It looks a little bit light in a couple of areas there. Maybe I didn't press hard enough, so I'm just going to give it one more. Just give it a good press. Get those sides where maybe I didn't get it enough. Beautiful. So anyway, it has mixed properties. So, oh, sorry about the squeaking. I'm just cleaning up my stamp. It has mixed properties, so that means you can use it with, so I can color this with Copics. I've stamped it on Copic friendly paper. If I had stamped this on a watercolor paper using the same hybrid ink, that would mean that I could color it with watercolors. Let me lift this up again carefully. I don't want to stretch my photopolymer. I can stamp on glossy surfaces. I can stamp on fabrics and so on and so forth. So basically I can use it with just about any medium that I want to use it with. It does have a little bit of a longer dry time, so we're going to let that dry before we start coloring anything. But I do want to show you what I did here, how I want to do the trees. Now this is why I wanted the larger Misty. So I'm going to move this over just like this, and I'm going to grab my Pine Tree Forest. I seriously cannot tell you how much I love this stamp set. I think it is so beautiful, but I love evergreens. My favorite evergreens are blue spruce. We have a lot of them in our yard, and I love them. It's actually what our Christmas tree is too. It's a blue spruce. I'm allergic to trees. So I can't have a real tree for Christmas, but I absolutely love it. So I'm going to lay this on here. Now, this is like beautifully balanced in terms of how it looks. I have two tall trees here. I've got 4 in the middle, 1 on the outside of the tall ones. But I want this to be a little bit off center from that. I don't want it to be so perfect. So I'm going to move that just a little bit like so. Just so it's not so perfect. Let me get my head in there. I want to make sure I'm not stamping in the wrong place. So this is why I needed the larger Misty, because this stamp here is, it's almost 6 inches long, and the smaller Misty would have been too short. So I'm going to go ahead and pick this up. And this tree line is solid stamping, so I've chosen 2 different greens. So I've got this light green is called Pistachios Aplenty. It is such a beautiful, cool green. And then my one of my favorites, olive branch here. I'm gonna work with both of these. So I'm gonna start with Pistachios Aplenty. I'm gonna ink up this entire tree. You're gonna see just how gorgeous and easy it is to get a beautiful background. By the way, if anybody has any questions, please put your questions out there. If you don't have any questions, just leave a comment, give us a hello. We do a drawing at the end of every one of these, and the only way we can draw your name is if we know you're here, and we draw the names from the comments. So if you have any questions, let me know, and Alan's going to pass those along to me. Sharon is saying, I have always wondered if hybrids are more opaque than dye inks. Will the ink not show through as much as dye ink?
Maybe
I'm not sure.
I don't know. Try to clear, but through a clear.
I'm not sure I understand the question.
Okay.
Sharon, I'm not sure I understand that question. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and wipe this up. So I did 2 layers of the Pistachios Aplenty. Now, I'm going to go ahead with my olive. Let me move this over a little bit so you can kind of see what I do. Now this olive, I don't want to stamp across the entire thing. I'm going to angle this and just put some color in here, kind of around in there every little bit, tapping down just a little bit. I can kind of see it a little, maybe a little bit more. I don't want to cover the whole thing, but I want to get some variation of color in here.
Sharon's asking if the ink is thicker.
Oh, is it thicker? I don't think it's thicker. I think it's more a question of, see, now I got some of those lines and I'm not crazy how I did that. So I'm going to kind of drag this down a little bit. I don't think it's thicker. I think you can layer it really nicely. See if I can fix some of those lines that went across there. There we go. That's pretty. Isn't that pretty? What?
Oh.
Ooh. I think Alan's kind of liking it. And I can fill in maybe some areas that I don't love. It just adds a little bit of dimension. Oh, sorry about that squeaking. It's me wiping this up. I got it all over the place. No, it's just because I'm wiping like a, plastic kind of. I know, I'm sorry. It's really loud. Now I'm going to go back with my Pistachios Aplenty and ink up the whole thing just because I want to bring that color a little more forward. Gives it a really pretty blue, like a blue-green. Isn't that gorgeous? So pretty. Now I'm going to go ahead with my cleaner. We still have to restock this cleaner. All right, get my stamp cleaned up. There we go. Excuse me, it's such a beautiful background. All right, let's see. Put my stamp away because I like to make sure I don't lose anything or misplace anything, get anything in the way or get anything on anything. So, and I know people have asked, does she really like that? Yes, I am. I am really like that. Do I like things put away, Alan?
I should not say anything.
Do I like things put away?
I'm not,
He does not want to incriminate himself, apparently. Okay, and then the next thing I did was I pulled this teeny tiny little snowflake and I just stamped this around. Let me grab the blue because I love this blue. It's a beautiful icy blue, but it's not really, really dark. This is called Swimming Hole. Isn't that a gorgeous, icy, wintry blue? Let me put this up here. And what I like about, oops, I didn't grab it. Here we go. I like this blue. I don't even know if you're going to see it stamped the first time. It's really, really light. You probably can't see that. But I can build on that color. That's one of the things I love about the hybrid. See how that comes in, and it's really, really faint. Susan, can you use the hybrid inks on black paper? Yes, you can. You absolutely can. You may have to stamp a couple of times to, you know, and you're going to remember you're going to be building color. Your white on black paper is going to be absolutely stunning. You're going to want to ink it up just a few times. It will layer nicely. Keep in mind you can also put an embossing powder over it to emboss. Not all of your colors are going to show up beautifully on, you know, on a black, on a really, really dark paper. So this, I know, is a little bit of a back and forth with this process here, but it's because I'm using such a beautiful light blue, and I don't want it to be so, I don't want it to be so light, and I don't want it to be too dark. I could actually get away with just doing this one time. I'm doing it a few times because it doesn't come through on the camera very well. And so like what you guys are seeing there on camera is actually looks a lot lighter than it really is. Okay, so got that. So this is kind of where we are with this, and let's put this away. The next thing that I did with this was to color up this beautiful base, and I did it with just two colors of Copics. So I used B21 and B23. I chose these colors because they look beautiful with the swimming hole blue that I chose for the snowflakes. And so starting off with B21, really, really easily, gently, because I don't want a ton of color down here. I wanted to bring that blue into the rest of the card. I'd like to have colors show up more than once in a card. You know, same thing with, you know, with home decorating. I like to have colors be kind of repeated a little bit. So I'm leaving that center light. So that was B21. Now I'm moving up to B23. And I'm just using a flicking motion. Now here around the bottom, I'm going to kind of flick it up a little bit because I don't want to end up with a straight flat line. It's much easier to blend a more free kind of jagged line than it is a straighter line. And so now back to the lighter color. And I'm just going to kind of blend this in now. I'm going a little bit further onto the edge of my, my brush tip instead of just at the top for where you would kind of do that flicking motion. And I'm just pulling that color up and blending it out. So we keep that center a little bit light. I mean, if you want to do this and create kind of a look of a ledge in there or an edge, you could. I'm not worried about it for this. I'm going to be stamping a sentiment in here. I think that's going to kind of disappear anyway. So I just want to keep it easy. So that's all there is with that. Nice and simple, very, very easy blending. The next thing I wanted to do was bring in some N1 on these edges just to make these edges have a little more roundness to them. So this is an N, which is a neutral. I could have gone with a cool since I'm working with a blue. So if you have your, if you have the C's and you wanted to use a cool gray, you could grab a C1 there as well. But this is just going to add a little bit of kind of a bend and a curve, because it kind of strengthens that shadow a little bit. All right, just a tiny little bit. Doesn't take a lot. And then the next thing I'm going to do is stamp my sentiment. And my sentiment is going to be this one that says, "You're snow dear to me." And you can see it fits perfectly in here. Just beautifully. I just want to get it centered from right to left. This font is so fun. I always push this down into the corner in case the paper lifts, because the stamps do, they are a little bit sticky, so sometimes it lifts the paper. So, if I have to stamp it more than once, and I probably will because I'm stamping over something, I'm stamping over another ink. It actually stamped beautifully, but I'm going to do it again. But I want to show you, this is what I do. I always tuck it back. I push it back into this corner. That way I know that if my paper budged just a tiny little bit, I'm putting it right back to where it needs to be. Isn't that gorgeous? I love that font. It's so fun. All right, where's my cleaning solution? Here it is. The hybrid inks will leave behind, they'll discolor your stamps a little bit. I don't worry about it, but they're going to discolor your stamps a little bit because they do have a permanent quality about them. They are not water soluble, which means that you can watercolor with them, but it's because of that very quality that they're going to leave a little bit of color behind. Can you use the hybrid inks on black paper? Okay, we talked about that. Shannon is saying, what kind of colored cardstock do you use? You know what? I don't look for a very particular brand. I look more for, well, two things. I look for the color. I want the color to match what I'm doing, whatever I'm working with. So I look for colors that appeal to me or colors that match the paper packs that I'm working with. But I also look for a thick and kind of heavy paper. I don't like really, really thin papers. I will tell you that with our upcoming subscription box, you will have some gorgeous, gorgeous cardstock in those. And I think on Thursday, I'm going to be unveiling that. So that's going to be pretty cool. I think. I mean, I know it's going to be cool, but I think I'm going to be unveiling it on Thursday. Okay, so let's see. The next step with this is going to be die cutting.
Oh,
What? Huh? No, you don't have to do it.
oh. Simulated die cutting?
Simulated die cutting. Yeah, just like in the cooking shows. So here you can see that this die fits. Here's the die, the one that cuts just the inside. It fits beautifully right here. And you can see how you can see that beautiful black line trimming all around it or framing all around it because because of how I laid that snow globe stamp down. So now you can see why, had I not laid it down and given it the freedom to form it the shape on its own, you wouldn't see that beautiful even line all around there. So from here, what we would do is I would tape this down. We would run this through the machine, right, through the die cutting machine. And then from there, you're going to get this piece and this piece. So it would cut, this is what it cuts out, is this piece. So that's why this piece fits, well, kind of, so perfectly. There we go. That's why it fits so perfectly up in there. And then here's the thing. I didn't like the length on this length, so that's why I decided to trim it to, I trimmed it at 4 1/4, and I chose 4 1/4 because that's the width of it. The width of it is 4 1/4. This is A2 size, so it's 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So all I did was pop this into my paper trimmer, trimmed it at 4 1/4, and then it's a beautifully centered image here. Let's put that one aside. Actually, maybe I should, well, all right, yeah, let's go ahead, Alan. I'm going to have you cut it after all. Take them through the steps. For those that have never made a shaker card, it's probably going to be beneficial. So let's go through. So I'm going to lay this on here, make sure I get it centered. I don't want this to pull up any of my coloring. So I put it on my, yes, I put it on my hand first so it's not quite as sticky. All right, Alan, I need you to do this, to cut this for me. Okay. There you go. Cut that for me. I'm trusting you. I am. One, 2, 3, 4. Let's see how long it takes Alan to cut this. 6, 7. He's like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh.
I didn't know there was a timer ready. Here we go.
Huh? Cindy is asking, will you ever have a line of your own cardstock? You know what? Here's the thing. I don't know. I know that's not a great answer, but here's the thing. When you want to do custom colors, I mean, you have to produce like, I don't know, what is it, like 30,000 sheets of paper in a color. So I think it's quite possible, like in the kits, we are going to have colors in there that are going to be absolutely gorgeous that I hand select, and they're going to go with the papers that we're going to have in the kits and so on and so forth. So I don't have a clean answer. If I find a really good option, then I will probably do that. Okay, so here we go. This is where we are. This is what came out of it, right? So now we have that beautiful kind of globe look to it. The next step is to take some of your acetate or transparency or whatever, and you're going to turn this over, and this is how I did it. Now, I could have, one of the options, I could have cut the entire snow globe out and then cut this center, by the way, and used it that way and put it on the front of the card. So you have a lot of options with this, but that wasn't what I did. I wanted this to be like part of the card on the just kind of like built into the card. You can see I'm off center as you look at it from the back. Oopsie. Oh well. I could always trim that if it was that big of a deal for me. So now I have this little piece of acetate that I put on the back to cover up that hole. So whatever I put in that shaker area, it's not going to pop out of there, right? And I can still put this on the back and it's still going to fit beautifully. So the next step here then is to build up the back, and that's where this is. So I use my my foam tape. This is my very sad little roll of foam tape. I actually had to open up the next one. And I put one layer down already just to make this really, go by a little bit faster for everybody. My foam tape is thin, and I like it thin because that allows me to control the depth of it on my card. So I am now going to go ahead and fill in my second my second layer. Somebody was asking the question last time, and I didn't see it until after we were done, about do my scissors get sticky when I cut this foam tape? And no, they don't. And I think it's a combination of two things. First of all, these Fiskars scissors are phenomenal. I don't end up getting a lot of junk on these. They're absolutely wonderful. You can see mine are, well, mine are apparently filthy, but I mean, I've been using this pair for what? I don't even know how many years, 15 years maybe. I do have, we have some of these in the store, and I highly recommend them. They are fantastic. It's not a really cheap or inexpensive scissor, but like I said, I've been using this pair for like 15 years, and I've got, I think I have 3 or 4 of these just kind of around the studio, so I've always got them to grab them when I need them. But also, the non-stickiness comes from this tape as well. This is fantastic tape. Let me pop these up. It's going to hold for a long time, but it's not gooey. There are some tapes out there that I have tried, some double-sided tapes that, you know, yeah, they might be cheaper. They might be, I don't know, whatever the case is, but they are just gooey, sticky, and I have thrown them out. This is the only one that I use. This, again, we have it in the store. This is not a big sales pitch. We put a really good price on this foam. It is a 30, I think 38 yard foam. It's absolutely wonderful. It's going to last you a long time. I've been using this same roll. I started it since before March 15th when we went on lockdown, and I'm still using it. So it really is fantastic. You know, a thing for me is, you know, when I started this company, I wanted to make sure that, you know, I will not produce a product, I will not carry a product that is not a product that I would use myself. I started out as a project designer for some other companies using their projects, or I'm sorry, using their products. And I like to think I have very high standards with the products that I use. And I like to transfer that standard to the products that we produce as well. So if I won't use it myself, I'm not going to develop it or sell it to you. So that is my little spiel of honesty, I guess we could call it. That's how I feel about it. Let's see. We get a couple more little pieces in here.
Wow.
What?
You just got a little half a third of the
What?
circle left in your.
I know. It's going, almost gone. Let's put this last little one right here. There we go. Okay. So the next step, oh, it's not this one. Notice this started out as an A2 card, and all I did was turn it on its side, and I trimmed it to 4 1/4, just like I did the main card. Okay. And then I have another piece of my card here. This is another piece of my Nina Classic Crest in the same size. Got fuzz on there. All right, so let's see. I'm going to lay this into place. I need to make sure I get this into the right spot. This is going to be, did I get tape in there? So I put a little bit of tape down because I'm going to make sure that this little backer piece goes exactly where I want it to be. So I'm laying that into position, holding it. This is how I do it, and I'm sure everybody's going to say, or not everybody, but some people are going to say, why didn't you just do this? Or why didn't you just do that? Well, I don't know, because this is what I did. How's that? Let's see. Oh, shoot, it didn't hit. Let's try it again. It works better when I don't have 2 layers on here, but I do have 2 layers. Let me put my hand in the other direction up here. Press it down into position. There we go. Now that should line up just beautifully, and it does. Isn't that sweet? Love it. All right, the next thing is going to be that I have to fit this over here. So I'm going to pull all this up. Get my little sprinkly things. Oh, I almost forgot. I still have a couple of pieces, something I want to put on the inside too of this image. Tedious getting rid of all this tape. I'm going to do something. I'm going to play with this other one for a moment. Set that one aside because I wanted to put this little house. Now notice, see the house? See how it's all cut on the back? The doors open, the windows open, just like so. So I could put little characters and things back there. Of course, I'm not going to do it on this one because I don't want the doors opened, because I'm going to make a shaker card and I want them to, I want all that to lay flat. So I'm just going to take this other one that I have here and just kind of position this and see where I want to put that house. Just visually so that it works. I think that works nicely, just like that. You can still see the house. Okay. So let me get a little bit of adhesive on the back of this. Fold all that back over. And then position this. I'm not going to push that down yet. Let that float for a moment. Make sure I got it in the right spot. Looks good. Now I'm going to press that down. A little bit right up here. I don't want anything to stick to it. Okay. So my next step is going to be to put some of these in here. Oh boy, here we go. Now this could end up all over the place. So I don't want everything in here. Those little beads are at the bottom there, and I want some of those little beads. Let me pick out the little pieces that I want in here.
You want to put in a little cup?
Huh? Yeah, I could put some in a cup. Yep, excellent. Thank you. Now, some people are probably cringing at the way that I'm doing this. And other people are going, yeah, that's how I do it. Let's see, what do I have in this one? This one I have some little white beads. So I'm going to get some of those too. I don't even care if this gets all mixed together. I'm just going to pop all this in here. So I had some little tiny white ones in here. Where are they? Almost clear. Put some of those in there too. So we have a really pretty little mixture. Oops. I don't want a ton, but I want it enough that it's going to shake. So how do you keep sequins from sticking to the acetate? Well, I probably could have used my anti-static stuff. Here, Alan, will you take this? I could have used my little anti-static pad, and had you asked me that about 4 seconds or 4 minutes ago, that would have been really helpful. Like I said, I haven't made a shaker in a while. Ladies, if you see me doing something stupid, ask the question earlier. Yeah, the sentiment's on there. Alrighty. I'm going to put this on here, make sure it's lined up. Let's hope it's lined up. Press it on. We're going to see. I hope I didn't put the house on upside down. Yay! I didn't. It's not upside down. That would have been great. All righty. It's shaking. It's shaking. Yay. Okay, so the next step then, watch how my card opens. And I'm going to put some adhesive down. Actually, I'm going to line this up here at the edge.
All right, I don't know if you answered.
Wait a minute, let me see. I'm going to line this up. It's hard to do because I've got a couple of layers. What is the price of the subscription box? That's a very good question, and I will let you know that as soon as I am ready to announce it. Do you sell the shaker mix? I do not, but you may be seeing some in your subscription box. I don't know. Just saying. It's possible. It is possible. Okay, where's my scissors? Here we go. Now we're going to add some fun little characters to the front. Oh, hey, do you guys remember stickles? Has anybody seen stickles in ages? I mean, goodness gracious. I used to love this stuff. And I haven't used it in a long, long time. This is so cute. I love it. Things are sticking in there, though. I think they're sticking to the side. But anyway, whatever. It's still, there's plenty in there. Stardust Stickles was my favorite. And that's what I used on the snow here. And I put some down here as well. So I think it looks really, really pretty. Stardust was always my favorite one. Okay, now we're going to get some trees going in here. I'm going to put those down. Where's my little tape roll? Oh my goodness gracious, not much here. All right, so you know what, let me lay this out so I know where I want them. I think this guy needs to go here. And then I'm going to lower this tree a little bit and put him down here, because that way you can see more of the house, and I think it's super, super cute. But I'm going to have this tree, I'm going to have the trees flat. There we go. And this one will be a little bit lower. A little bit lower, there we go. And then we're going to put these little guys up on, let me get a bigger piece of that. Some of the foam, how about the side that's lifting? There we go. He needs smaller pieces. There we go. Actually, I think I have one here I can put him. There we go. Always save those little pieces because you use them. You always need them. I love this little one prancing. He's so cute. And then this little guy. Come on, come up there. This little one looks like he's just like looking back to see where his friend is. So pretty. I think it's adorable. So there we go. There we have it. That is the card. And if you wanted to put another, you know, sentiment on the inside, I think it's just beautiful. And I love that. I actually love that it's square. Lots going on with that. So fun. Your snow dear to me. I think it's so pretty. Is there anything else I forgot to do? Let me see. I don't think there is. I think that's everything. I hope you guys like that. Any idea how I can keep my sequins inside? the shaker from sticking to the side? You know what? That's a really good question because I have stuff sticking to the side. I guess my answer, and I don't know, I don't make a lot of shakers, but I guess my answer is overfill. Overfill so that when things get stuck, you still have plenty of others that are bouncing around.
Maybe we need a liner that goes.
Well, you know what I'm thinking though, maybe if you put a little bit, like maybe with a little paintbrush, put a little baby powder or something on the inside of your tape, the inside of your foam tape with a little paintbrush, then that would probably, because mine is really getting stuck. I can see mine's just like piling up in there, getting stuck. So that's something that I think I'm going to try. I think I'm going to try a little bit of powder. All right, let's go back here. Hey there. Yeah, I think in hindsight, I think what I would do is use a little paintbrush and just maybe a little baby powder and put that on all around the inside portion, like the inside edge of the foam. I think that would work really, really well because it takes the stickiness away, and then you're not going to have that stuff getting stuck. But regardless, I think that turned out so cute. My green screen is making it look really, really weird, but I think it turned out really cute. I hope you guys like it. I think it's beautiful. I love the greens and blues together. I just think it's so pretty. So we've got to do a giveaway.
Oh my goodness.
I think that today's giveaway, what are we going to do for today's? You know what? I know what we're going to do for today's giveaway. Today's giveaway is going to be 34th Street. We're going to do the 34th Street stamps and dies. These are absolutely wonderful. I love that these are interactive. So all of your little houses are going to open, the doors are going to open and close, and they're so fun. So if you've got your comment out there, then Alan is probably drawing a name right now, right?
You would think.
You would think. I would think. I thunk, actually. I think he would have had one by now. Thunk? Thought? Something like that. You got a last name?
Nope.
Bunny. Bunny! I don't know who Bunny is.
What is Bunny short for?
I don't know, but Bunny, you won. You won 34th Street stamps and the coordinating dies. All you need to do to claim your prize, I'm Dr. Seuss. Did you hear that? You won the dies and now you got to claim your prize. Okay. I'm Dr. Seuss tonight. All I need from you is I need your complete mailing address. Send it to customer service at LDRScreative.com, and we will get your 34th Street stamps and dies out to you right away.
All right, we're actually losing it.
They're fun. One of my favorites. Again, I know I say that about everything, but you know what? I swear to you, every set that goes into each of our collections, they're all hand-picked, hand-selected, by me. If there's something that we're putting together that I don't like, then you guys don't see it. It doesn't go out there. So, oops, see what I do? I hit a button. We're green. I don't know what I did. I was brushing like something off of my computer, but anyway. He went green for a moment. I don't look so good in green. I'm looking at the screen over here. Green is not my color. You don't want to put green on an Italian because no, you don't want to put red on, like an Englishman like yourself because your skin is very, very fair. And then, he has a lot of pink that shows through his skin. You put red on him and it's no good. And me, I've got olive skin, so I have a lot of green in my skin that shows through. So the minute you put green on me, I look sickly. It's just, it's just not good. Or yellow. Yellow is not for me either. Anyway, I've gotten off topic. So Bunny, send us your information so we can get your stuff out to you right away. Let's see, Thursday, I am going to try my best to get everything finalized for the subscription. I'm so excited about this first one. I'm hoping to be presenting it to you on Thursday, so be here. Be here. Be here. I will give you all the details then.
Don't read it. Don't read it out loud.
No, I don't want to read that. Okay, So everybody, are we early today? We're early today. Wow.
Pretty
All right.
good.
Well, here's my card. Yay. Thank you guys so much for being here. I absolutely had a wonderful time. Sorry I messed up a couple things on my card, but that's the way that it goes, right? I learned for next time. Of course, the next time I make a shaker card might be another 6 or 7 years from now, so I may not remember the lessons I learned. So we'll see. All right, everybody. Same time, same place, Thursday night, right here, 7 p.m. Eastern. Thank you guys for joining me. I hope you have a wonderful rest of the evening, a fantastic Wednesday, and we will see you right back here on Thursday. Thanks, everybody. Had a wonderful time. Have a great night.